So, we've been hearing also with all these practical effects, apparently you're a little dangerous to your actors.
Me?
Blood, sweat, and tears, all of the above were...
A visit or two to the hospital, arms falling asleep.
Yeah, each of the guys, after shooting their torture sequences, were a little beaten up. Sarah went through much more than the other guys. Her stuff, we have basically in the film, we have the original film had one long rape sequence, basically. We have two very long assault scenes, torment and assault scenes, and two very long rape sequences. So it's actually, there's more. We felt that, there needed to be some torment of her and humiliation of her on top of that, which you saw yesterday in some of these clips.
So you took her and pushed her, you literally took this character in the first movie, one rape, and she was on the edge. This, you literally took her to the edge and pushed her over to get her to become this vengeful.
Yeah, one of the things for me that I definitely wanted to feel in this film was I wanted everybody, no matter what she did to these guys, I wanted everybody. Some people will go, I would have done that. Some people will go, you know what? I actually would have thought I wouldn't have done it, but I would have thought of doing that. And I wanted everybody to have that reaction. I didn't want anyone to go, I don't like what she's doing. I'm not with her anymore. You know what I mean? It's like I've always said to, when I first took this film on, and the first interview I ever did was, what's your perception of why people will connect with this? And I said, well, basically, Jennifer is, this could happen, and it has happened to women. And so basically she is everybody's, mother, daughter, sister, aunt. Everybody has either heard about something like this, had something like this, dealt with it. And that's kind of what she represents, and no matter what she does in this film, even though it's a film that's very violent, I wanted people to sit there and go, I'd do that to a guy. I'd do it,
I'm with you.
Yeah.
With you, girl.
Yeah.
Well, you really get the audience on the side of a character like that. It's a terrible way to do it because you put them through so much, but pretty much they've got a carte blanche at the end of it. They've got a blank check to do whatever they want to their victimizers.
Yeah. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with a disturbing film that leaves you feeling disturbed. There's nothing wrong with that. It's like, to me, it's the equivalent of walking out of a great comedy still laughing. It's the same. It's still, it's a piece of film that affects you, emotionally, no matter what that emotion is.
So give us a little bit of your resume. Tell us what you've done prior to I Spit on Your Grave.
I've done I Spit on Your Grave was my 13th film, I think. I've done my first film was a little tiny thriller called The Contract that did really well overseas, and then that got me my second film with a company called Bauer Martinez. They were pretty big for a while. They were over at MGM. I did a film called House of Nine with Dennis Hopper, which was a thriller. And then I did two horror films for Stephen Cannell that Anchor Bay distributed called Hid Weights and Left the Douglas. And then I did a film for a friend, begged me to do a favor for him, and I did this film that Sci-Fi Channel picked up. And I went on the streak of doing Sci-Fi Channel TV movies, which, those are gigs. Those aren't, it is what it is. They hand you scripts. Well, they hand you scripts, and they say, here's your script, shoot it. You shoot it, you turn in your cut, and they go, okay, goodbye, we're finishing the movie. That's television. So it's, look.
Okay, I have to ask.
You gotta work, man.
Right?
Well, it's not, I still put everything I have into it, but it's like, it's not something that I can say, like with this, I had much more creative power with this. With television, the director's basically just a tool. But it's also still, career-wise, it's important to do these things. And you do
sci-fi.
Well, you do a chunk of these things, and then, it's able to you're able to then have the power to go and do something that you really want. So it's all a joke.
Okay, I've got a question to ask you. We've been on a question and answer on this for several years. It seems that this decade, this entire century so far, has become the decade of the remake and revisioning. And you're a director. You've actually taken on a very powerful, a big one. And that's either going to win you a lot of friends if they say you do it right, or they're going to be wanting to get the torches and the pitchforks ready for you.
Yeah, I know.
So how do you feel about that? About walking up and doing a remake of such a well-known movie?
Well, I mean, my look at it was when I heard that Cinetel had gotten the rights to it, I said, to me it's like remakes are going to be done no matter what. As long as the seats are in the audience, producers are going to keep doing it. I think it's just like with digital taking over from film. At some point you got to embrace it and go, okay, what do we do as the filmmakers? We know this is going to keep happening. Let's get involved and make it the best we can. So when I heard that they were doing the remake, I said, I want this not only because I was very affected by the original, but two, if it gets in the hands of the wrong person.
It can be very trying.
It could be, yeah. Yeah. So that's how I look at it. I mean, it's like, I think we're just at that crossroads where we got to embrace it. It's going to keep happening,
So it's either you do a good job on it, or we get the Lifetime movie channel version of it.
There you go.
Well, it's very much like two movies come to mind like that. It's not a remake exactly, but it was the movie adaptation of Hitchhiker's Guide, and then the recent movie adaptation of The Watchmen. Both directors said, I knew it was going to happen, and I wanted to make sure that this book or this graphic novel was done right, lest somebody else do it and break it. So I guess that's kind of the spirit amongst the directors as well. If it's going to happen, let's do it right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. If we wanted to follow you on the net anywhere, where would we go?
I do have a director's website.
Okay.
But that, that's basically got clips and information. It's directorstephenarthur.com. They are starting next week. I believe there's the website for the movie will be up, and there will be a Facebook page for it also.
Do you know what the URL for that's going to be?
It's on the poster. It's a Spit on Your Grave movie. I don't think it's a Spit on Your Grave movie, but it's on the it's a Spit on Your Grave movie.
Well, it's either I Spit on Your Grave movie or I Spit on Your Grave.
It's not the movie. It just popped into my head. It's just movie.
But we'll grab a poster. We'll put that in the show notes to be absolutely
sure.
certain.
Yeah.
And we'll even link it on our site, and
Do it,
can we
man.
link it to your director's page?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's been great. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you guys, man.
And thank you for doing such a good job of making the class.
Man, it's like I said in the panel, it's the most important thing to me is that the fans accept it.
Well, thus far from what I've seen, what I've heard, I'm going to accept it. I mean, it remains to be seen in September, but I just really don't think you can fail it from what I've heard. The stats are there, you know what I mean?
We went for it, man.
Well, this won't be a remake you hear me bitching on, because a lot of them I've been very vocal that they screwed it up. But this one, it sounds like it's going to be one of those that we improved on the original.
I appreciate it. If you guys can get that out there, because there's a lot of people that haven't even seen what you guys have seen, and they're already talking crap about it with no information. So
that's the internet.
How about
for you.
this?
I know, man.
Hey, if you can get us a screening copy before it comes out, let us know. We'll give you a full review on it.
I'll try, man. I don't even know if they're going to give me a screening copy.
Camera guy there's got some cards. We'll see what we can do. And besides that, I mean, if it comes down to it, in September, you're going to be hearing from us. We might do a little phone-in thing and say, hey, after the fact, we were in the theater and everybody was walking out, but not because they hated it, because they had to go throw up.
Yeah, that's what I hope. I mean, I really do.
And I think that's every horror director's goal, is to have people walk out of this movie because they can't take it.
Yeah, and and also this, to me, this isn't just the horror, but this is the drama too. This is an upsetting movie, and so it's got that base to it also, which is important. I really do. Look, The Exorcist wasn't one of the most brilliant films ever made for no reason.
I agree.
It's because there was some real drama in there too.
Hey, once again, thank you for spending some time with us.
Thank you.